Well, it's time for our normal, we got some hustlers here, 6 o'clock or so press conference. And I was watching the timing and scoring monitor, Gabby, when you jumped up there to the third position, maybe even got up to second position, but obviously a good lap. There were a lot of cars running together out there. Tell us about your experience in the day and how you feel about your car.
Really good. I mean, yesterday we did, I think, 3 laps on track and then 3 more out and in, and that wasn't good. Obviously, our guys were disappointed that we didn't really do any laps, so today to kind of bounce back from that and right away work on the car and improve it and, show some speed. That's the direction you want to be heading in. So we're happy. Obviously, we've still got plenty of work ahead of us. And I think if we just keep doing what we're doing, we should be able to be in a good spot for the race.
You've done awfully well here at Indianapolis in your career. Is it a track that you feel particularly comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, it's a track that from my very first outing here, first time it was in an Indy Lights car in 2013. I kind of just stuck to it, and I just enjoy racing here. I enjoy driving here. So this is just a faster car and a more enjoyable car. And when you get 30 or so of us out there, it gets a little crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm having a blast out there. Obviously, the better your car is, the more fun you have when you pass people. So hopefully that's what we'll do.
It's good to have you with us. We'll take questions for Gabby.
Gabby, this month you're working with Larry Curry, who's had more than 30 years here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How much has his expertise helped you this month so far?
Well, I think Larry has really been more of a guidance for the team rather than me so much. As you may know, we're also working with Al Unser Jr., who's kind of taken more of that role to work with me and give me his experience, his learning, and everything that he's learned here. Try to give as much as you can, all that to me, so I can kind of expedite my learning curve, go out there and get right to it. But Larry has been really just instrumental in getting together a brand new team, 2 brand new cars. Obviously, he's been the one who's got the guys involved, since I believe the second week of January was when the cars were bought. They came in probably right before February, and ever since then, he's the one who's kind of taken the lead on, who's going to be my engineer, who's going to be my mechanics, and who's all going to be involved in the team. And I think really he's put a kick-ass team for me, so I'm very happy with that.
Gabby, I have a couple of questions for you, hopefully not too much. Number 1, can you give some more details how this deal came together with this brand new team?
Yeah, I believe our first conversation took place in late December, right before Christmas. Harding Group had been a longtime sponsor of the Speedway, or partner, and as well as had participated as a car sponsor before. And I think them as a whole wanted to take that next step, which was car ownership. And that very first lunch meeting we had was kind of to talk about our objectives and see if what we both had in mind kind of felt it would work together. And obviously for me, it's important that I can have a group of people around me that I can grow with, being only my second, third year in the series. And I think that's what their goals were as well. Is he told me, I don't want to come here and just do it once. I want to come here and be in it for the rest of my life and do it successfully. And we're looking at a young driver that we can build around. So I think our objectives kind of just meshed together, and we just made it work.
According to the infos in the internet, your team has a cooperation with Dreyer and Reinbold. Now you are third and Karam is fifth. Are your cars similar setup or identical setup?
I don't believe so. I think while we do have a partnership, we utilize their workspace in their Dreyer Reinbold shop in Carmel. We are kind of able to just go on about our own path in the way we set up the car and the way we go out on track. And then at the end of the day, we also are able to share a little bit of information to see how we can progress together. So it is a good thing to have, especially for a new team coming in. But it'd be unfair to say that that's why we were quick today. I think we were quick today because the guys in Harding Racing did a hell of a job getting the car together and putting on a fantastic race car.
Well, we're also joined by the two gentlemen at the top also, Will Power, who was, I'm all the way back here, Will, who was at the top of the queue in practice and already has some time in here. Will, not only were you at the top, but I noticed that your no-toe speed was also pretty good. We had a couple maybe a little bit quicker, but tell us about your car.
Yeah, it was pretty good all day, actually. I have to say that made some improvements overnight. Yeah, the no-toe speed is better for sure. And, yeah, I feel comfortable in traffic. It's so, you know, it's a long week. You got to keep working at it. Things change. The car goes in and out of being good and bad and this and that, but you got to try not to get lost and just keep it simple.
Helio, you first of all, I normally have a press conference around your birthday, so happy birthday! I missed that.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you.
And second fastest overall. You know, Will was in here talking about the number of victories that he's close there with you. You know, he was talking about that here after the Grand Prix.
He passed me, yeah.
What about that?
What about that?
Are you prepared to get even here?
Absolutely. We're preparing. I was trying to get a little bit of a head in the Grand Prix, but he did a phenomenal job there. And but again, it's all about now. It's the 500. You don't thinking about the numbers of how many victories you have in your career. It's more about the big one, and this is the big one. And we are working as a team, trying to get the best out of it. We understand that. Yesterday there was in the top 10 there was only 2 Chevs, and today in the top 10 there was only 3 Hondas. So you can see that those boys are playing some games here. So interesting, and but it's okay. It's all good. We keep focusing on our work. We're working together with Chevy and everybody else, so that we can keep it at a good pace and moving forward.
I'm going to play Wolfgang and have 2 questions for you guys. Will, can you talk a little bit about the heat we've had this week, the wind we've had today, and how that's contributed to top speeds and lap speeds being a little bit down from what fans maybe thought would be coming?
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely made the track greasy, but you know, it all has to do with whether people want to practice qualify. I mean, that's when you start to see some bigger speeds. And we don't get the boost till Friday that we're running qualifying, and probably not practice qualifying till Thursday. So these first 3 days, which, you know, being hot, yeah, it will make it slower, but we're not in the configuration that's going to put up a big speed anyway.
Second question, Helio, last couple of years here we've come in asking if we were seeing everything that Chevy had to offer leading up to qualifying. We're hearing the opposite. Is Honda showing everything they have? Any thoughts on that from your Chevy-powered hot rod?
Not right now, and understanding. It sounds like they have issues in the past. We can only speculate. I can only speculate that they don't want to keep blowing the engines now. They gotta wait until Saturday, and so that they can finish the qualifying and then put the race engine. Otherwise, they have to do something like that. So right now, it's the name of the game. We just gotta focus in our work. We can't just we can only speculate, but out there we're just trying to run. As Will mentioned about downforce and qualifying setup and race setup, we're just trying to make sure that we feel as comfortable as possible, and whatever happens in a race day, we prepare as much as we can.
Oh, Will. And Helio, actually. I know a 500 win would be big for both of you guys, but how big would it be for Roger? And I got a chance to talk to Joseph recently, and he said that Roger still kind of pursues 17 like he pursued number 1. Can you talk about that a little bit?
That's true. Roger definitely, he just puts everything into this race. So Yep, as a team, I think we did a lot of homework in the off season for this race, and we tested here twice. So we're getting the most out of our package, and I know Chevy's working really hard, and obviously you can see that our speeds are pretty good right now, but Honda's obviously turned their engines down quite a bit for because they're having a few failures. But Roger, he would love to get number 17, and I would absolutely love to do it for him.
I tell you what, obviously Roger's my strategist, and he's there. For him to leave his day job, which is a pretty busy schedule, to come over here on a Tuesday, I actually staying here all week. It shows the commitment that he has, and it shows what does he wants. It's another win, and it's not just because his team has a lot that he's gonna settle down. He's gonna continue collecting victories, and we want to continue hopefully giving him that kind of result.
Two questions. One will be for Gabby. All that time you've spent in the two-seater driving people around, did that just make you miss this car that much more, or did it actually just kind of keep you in the feel of things a little bit?
I don't know. I think it freaked me out a little bit because I was used to going relatively slow, and then you get back into this car and you go out there for your first laps, and you always just forget a little bit how quick this place really is at those speeds. And it did take me, probably a full outing to really feel comfortable. But I always say, anytime you can get behind the wheel of a race car, it's a good day, and you just, even if you're learning only very few little things, you could always try to push yourself and try out some new things to learn.
And Helio, with that paint scheme you've got, do you feel golden this month?
Gold status, my man. Yes. Make sure that you guys get your FRN card. Few Rewards Network. You can get an app as well, FRN app. And getting that, basically, you can actually get about 10 cents of a discount on a gallon.
That's
so
big time.
It's a big time. Plus, whatever you connect, they have restaurants, they have groceries, they have all sort of things. So FRN app or FRN.com, you can actually find that out. So it's and as soon as you apply, you get a gold status.
You can get the app on your Verizon. You can get the app on your Verizon phone. So
here we go. Don't forget that. You're right. My bad. Well, with all this theme, hopefully we can get the gold moment at the victory circle. And but right now it's a little bit away, but we're preparing for that, and we're looking forward.
Yeah, for all of you guys, really, the weather forecast for tomorrow is pretty good. It should be a lot like today. But for Thursday on through the rest of the weekend, it's very unsettled and uncertain. Would you alter your program, your practice program for the rest of the week based on the schedule, based on the weather forecast?
Well, in our side, it will be a little more windy tomorrow compared to today, but constant wind is no problem. And, well, the only thing we alternate is about the planning, when you use the tires and not use the tires and things like that. And so far we feel that Thursday and Friday is still pretty darn good. And Saturday is the one that might be iffy. But Saturday is already the day of qualifying. So right now we are, as a team, we're looking very, very strong into those directions, and feels like we're good until Saturday.
Gabby, I have a question about who your engineer is, and for someone who hasn't been in a car for a while, I'm assuming that this is a new relationship, and it seems that you have a lot of confidence already just going out initially. And I have a second question after that.
Yeah, I'm working with Matt Curry as my race engineer, and yes, it is a new relationship, but we've been seeing each other for months now, since January, almost every day. So it's not like meeting someone new your first day on track. You already know the person. You already know a little bit of their thought process, and when you communicate with them, they understand you, and it's a little bit faster transition when you have to go out on track and get to work on pretty much the first time on a car. So far so good. obviously have all the confidence in the world in the car that they're giving me, and I think we're starting to show a little bit of the potential that we can bring.
And this is for all three of you because it seemed last year here, that the Honda seemed to be a little more powerful than the Chevy. That seemed to be the consensus. And yet, you know, the top three today are all three of you as Chevy drivers. So Fast Friday qualifying, are you going to get more boost, like that increase that they would give for the qualifying? And also, driving the Chevy, do you notice a difference from last year? Because I would think over the winter maybe Chevy made some gains.
Yeah, they've been working hard. You know, I think yeah, everyone gets a boost on Friday and Saturday. So yeah, you know, the gains are very small when you talk. You know, back a couple of years ago, the gains were bigger, but now it's just so small you don't feel anything, but you just see it on the speed. So you know, they're working hard. Obviously, today the Hondas are turned down quite a bit. We can see that. But, you know, I feel like our alone speed is actually pretty good. So, you know, compared to what they were running yesterday. So it's
yeah, you saw what they did yesterday, 226, and today Marco was 221. So for sure, 5 mile an hour, it's not the setup. But as I said, we can keep talking about them. We can only focus in our way. And Chevy's, as Will's touching on the subject, working really hard. We are maybe with 1.4 boost, it might be different. I don't know. At this point, even us don't know. But we know that everybody's working together, so that we can don't see as much of a difference over last year, which they were strong. If it is, we just gotta go around and make sure we have a better car.
What's the situation in terms of this kind of 60-mile-an-hour gusts? Do you guys have to pile on a lot more downforce to combat that? And would that be an explanation as to why you know, the speeds are slightly slower than we expected?
The speed is like slower from when? From yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, Will did the same lap time, correct? From yesterday?
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't think. Huh?
I went 20 miles an hour faster.
Yeah, Gabby went 20 mile an hour faster, but I think we know why. I think we're assuming why. It's the second day. I gave me a little bit comfortable. I went faster just because we're changing a little bit on the cars, but I don't think that the wind had anything to do with it. As I said, I think if you would be the Honda with the power that it would have, you would probably have about, again, the same people up there as well today.
Okay, another question about wind. Excuse my obsession. Was it consistently in one direction, or you know, was it blowing different ways throughout the day? And at which end was it making the handling most tricky?
There was some moments, but the way that it wasn't as gust as we had in the past. It was at least a constant wind. It was about 5 to 10 mile an hour. We had here before 20. When we tested here, about 30 miles an hour, and those makes a huge difference. But at the moment, it's still pretty constant, and we are able to keep practicing in a safe pace.
Helio, you won this race as a rookie in 2001 in a different car than what you had been driving throughout your career. Although the differences aren't nearly as dramatic as a Formula One car to this type of car, what do you think are the biggest things that are jumping out to a newcomer such as Fernando Alonso?
You mean the cars you're talking about from what I used to be? Well, back then, obviously the biggest thing was the horsepower. When I jumped in from 900 horsepower to back then probably was 600. It was definitely vibrating more on this car, the IRL car, than actually the Champ car. It was less finesse. Everything here was a little more rougher, which is okay. But in the end, it was not a problem to adapt. We did have our race in Phoenix, if you guys remember. A lot of people complaining that we didn't finish the race. But that was actually great to do that because it gave us a great parameter for this race. And he's probably learning very well. I ran around him today, and he does have great teammates as well, so he can learn from it. I don't see you're going to have any issue at all. And today, I mean, you have simulators, you have so many more data technology that can help you to adapt quicker, and that's definitely helping him out.
How dramatic was the level of sophistication from your kart car to the IRL car?
Yeah, I mean, back then was I was coming from a very sophisticated car and to go to a very different car. Primitive. Thank you, Will. Appreciate the help in English. And but it's true. It was very difficult. But once you were up to speed, the tires were very similar, and that probably for me was not a big difference.
For Will or Elio, how has having Juan as a fifth car this month been different? Have you guys been able to adjust your programs? Has he brought some more fun or liveliness for the month?
Yeah. I mean, Montoya. He's definitely stirs things up in the team.
He's Montoya. Come on.
Yeah,
you guys know.
You don't have to say any more. But yeah, I mean, it's another car. It's more information. He's got a lot of experience. He's won here a couple times, so you know, it's just better having more people. Like, it's a very experienced team when you look at it with all the drivers. You know, so Juan definitely brings a lot to the table.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Have fun, guys.